What's going on, guys? I hope all of y'all are doing great. Let's see, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. This is gonna be a short one. I'm gonna start vlogging, like I said, more. This is gonna be a short one. What is in today's agenda and how can it talk about guns and gun topics? So if y'all have watched my previous videos of my own company now, I just left my bank, my business checking account, whatever you want to call it, to put in quite a bit of money for some orders. I am now a dealer for Wilcox. I'm through a company, but technically I'm a dealer for Wilcox, and I got quite a bit of the new Raid XEs. So I'm excited for that, but I had to put a lot of money. These lasers are supposed to be shipped in October. It is the 20th of October. They have not been shipped yet, and I just got the rest of the money put in the account, so we're just waiting on them. So let's talk about some gear. Sorry if my hands are all over the place. It's kind of hard to hold this phone. Talk about some gear and stuff. Lasers specifically. I've had a lot of people ask me, what laser do you recommend? Well, what nods do you recommend? Guys, I always tell people it's personal preference. For one, when I see people put, oh, that's shit, why are you running that over this? It's, for one, it's personal preference. Two, guys, it's all in your budget. Just because you buy, say, like for instance, on my URGI, my Mark 18 build, I run a D-Ball E3. In my opinion, for the money, that is the best civilian laser. And when I say civilian laser, it's not rated for full power. Full power, there's another video coming with different lasers and reviews. Like, for instance, you cannot own, say, a full power PEC, the full power D-Balls, full power MAWs, the MAW DA, Wilcox Raid X's, Ingalls, stuff like that. You cannot own them unless you are military and law enforcement. I'm no longer a cop. I'm a dealer for them, but I'm no longer a cop. So it's getting that stuff pushed out. So I have Raid X's and I have full power PECs when I was law enforcement. Did I turn them in? No, I was a cop at the time. But some of these guys sell that stuff on, you can find stuff. So just because, guys, if you're not military and law enforcement, do not think you cannot ever own any of that. It's just the way they did it. I don't know why. It's something with ITAR and everything else. I don't know why they did it that way, because it's not a firearm itself. It is a laser. Full power is obviously going to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more of a distance. Your illuminator's going to be better. But yeah, so going into lasers, just a quick little run on lasers. If you are trying to, say, get your first set of nods, we'll do some recommendations on nods and lasers. But I always tell people, if you're on a budget, because everybody has a budget, unless you make anywhere from $500,000 to a couple million a year, then you probably don't give a shit what you buy. That's not me. That's a lot of you guys watching right now. Y'all probably don't make that either. So going to your budget, you got a budget for what you want. A lot of things that I buy that a lot of you guys see, they're like, well, what do you do for work? This and this and this and this and this. It's all about how you budget. So say whenever I would get paid every 2 weeks, and then my business, I would set aside a budget, and then I would sell some stuff too, but I made my budget for what I wanted. Like right now, I'm about to get a Tommy Built TG36. It's a build I'm doing. It's a gun I've wanted for a long time. I have been budgeting for that for about 8 months. So some of these guns you guys see, I don't just go buy them. Oh, fuck it. There is some guns that I get that, okay, I'm bored, let's go get a new gun. It's something I want, though. It's not really an impulse buy. The Desert Eagle is like an impulse buy. It looked cool, and I want to add my collection as an eye catcher. But it's a good thing when you have friends or family over. Hey, can I see your guns? I know you're a gun guy and you have a bunch of guns. Can I see this? It's a attention grabber. It's a conversation starter. So that's why I bought the Desert Eagle. But I budget for my stuff. So getting off topic, but going back to lasers. A lot of guys ask me, Nick, I'm wanting to start getting nods. this is kind of my, what do I get? I don't know nothing about it, because guys, I don't know everything about Nods. I actually just financed. I had RMVGs for a little bit, and I actually sold them. They were green phosphor RMVGs. Great Nods, but I wanted to upgrade to something bigger. So I was looking at PVS 31s and the new DTMVS. And I was setting aside, what do I want? And I wanted 31s for the longest time, but I actually changed my mind and got DTMVS's because of budget and specs. The DTMVS is the exact same thing for those 31 owners out there. I know, don't worry. I wanted 31s, and I don't compare nothing to 31s unless it's like GP18 MVG or something. That's 40,000 plus. But DTMVS and PVS 31s, it was almost a $4,000 price difference on both. So I budgeted. I have the money for 31s, but then I thought, okay, I can take that extra $4,000 for my helmet setup. I do not have a ballistic helmet setup, and a good setup of a helmet, if you want to run everything on it, is going to cost you at least $3,000 for a helmet, because the helmet I got is an OpsCore SF high cut, and the helmet alone was $1,700. So with, say, a Vampire light, counterweight, battery pack, whatever kind of, anything you do to your helmet can be very expensive. My helmet came out being like $3,600. So I took that extra money for my helmet. Then again, I budgeted what I wanted. So when guys ask, it's a generic question, Nick, I don't have lots of money to drop on this, but I have been saving for Nods and an IR laser. So what I did was, I kind of did vice versa and went backwards in order. I always tell people, get Nods first, and that will make you kind of then start wanting to get your IR laser and your helmets. I went completely back. I was thinking backwards. What you need to look at, there's a lot of people that have ballistic helmets or bump helmets that do not have Nods. So now what I tell people is, I always tell people, get your helmet first, because if I get Nods, I'm going to be forced to get a helmet, because I can't do nothing with my Nods without a helmet. You cannot use Nods without a helmet, but you can use a ballistic or bump helmet without Nods. There's a lot of people that run helmets without Nods. And that's one thing as a gun owner and a gun influencer, that in a firearms community influencer, I should have got. So I waited a little bit because like a lot of people get plate carriers, but then they wait to get plates. Vice versa, chest rigs don't have that. So if you're in the market for Nods, I tell people now, get a helmet first. If you don't have a helmet, Nods, or an IR laser, get a helmet first. And the reason behind that is, you can always train with a helmet if something were to happen. Like I said, bump helmets, no, it's not going to stop around. Helmet's really not intended for that purpose anyways, but get a helmet first to go with your kit. So if you have your chest rig, your plate carrier, you're already protecting your torso. So something to protect your head, so even a bump helmets are not that expensive for debris or whatever. No, being a civilian, you probably don't need that, but it's always nice to have in some classes. It's nice to have. It's just if you want to add your like shit the fan, whatever bug out scenario you want to do, go ahead and get your helmet first. If you have your plate carrier, you got your main vitals protected. Get something to protect your damn head. A lot of people don't think about that. That's kind of I looked at. I already have my plate carrier. Why do I? No, I'm not using my thing. Even at work, would I use it at work when I was in law? Probably not. But it's nice to have. So if you're looking at Nods, helmet first. First thing you got to do is get you a good bump or ballistic helmet. Second, I recommend now is getting an IR laser. And how the IR laser works is, whether you're civilian, military, and law enforcement, some IR lasers are a little bit harder to get than others. But I tell people right now that, look, I want a full power. A lot of people like full power PEX, LA5, stuff like that. I understand that. Know your budget for one, and then what is your purpose behind it? If you're just messing around here and there, you probably don't need that stuff. Now, if you're a bougie ass like me, what my fiance says I'm bougie, then, and you want the best whatever, then that's something in your criteria you can do. But for recommendations, I tell people, what is your intended purpose? They tell me this. Okay, well, are you using this for work? No, I just want to have it to do some classes with it. to mess around outside through the house, wherever, clear the house. You know how we are. If you're like me or we're like me, I know there's a lot of you watching this right now that goes and clears your house. If you have a gun, you practice your dry fire or whatever, you go and clear your house thinking you're damn just tactical, whatever. But it's also a good thing to know your layout of your house if something were to happen. If you have kids, wife, what rooms or what is behind your target. If you have to shoot and engage a target inside your house, what's behind that target? So what's your purpose behind wanting nods, and what's your purpose with an IR laser? A lot of people start wanting, I want a full power PEC. I want a PEC. A lot of people tell me I want a PEC. Or I want an NGAL. That's an NGAL. That's I don't have an NGAL right now. Do I want one? Yes, but I'm going to have to get it third party, and they're very expensive. I'm going to be paying about $5,000 to $5,500 for an NGAL. So I already have my Raid X. I got that a good deal. It was still really expensive through law enforcement discount. But the thing is, guys, know your purpose and also know your budget. I have some more videos coming up of what is the purpose behind it and intended for, but what is your budget? Because there are a lot of people out here that cannot afford some of this stuff. So guys, with lasers, you got your helmet, okay? Now next thing to do a laser. If you are in a budget, depending on that budget, there's 2 lasers that I recommend people getting. You want to be a little bit cheaper, say in the $700-800 range, new, a D-Ball i2. I do not personally own any i2s, but the next thing I'm going to say is a D-Ball A3. I own an A3. You guys see it on the Mark 18. That's my designated, that is my go. If something were to happen, I'm picking my 10.3 Mark 18, my URGI bill with a basic EOTech on it, no magnifier, a 10.3 for my area. You got to know your area and layout. That is better for me. So that's what I did my build behind. I don't need a lot of distance. I can engage somebody 200-300 yards pretty easily. Past 250 is going to be a little bit harder, obviously, with just a basic 1 power variable EOTech. It's a little bit different than that, but know your area. So I put a D-Ball A3 on there. In my opinion, guys, a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? In my opinion, the D-Ball A3 is the best civilian laser. I ran that even when I was in law enforcement. The A3 gets the damn job done. It's got a great green vis laser, and it has got a pretty good IR laser and illuminator. A lot of people say, why don't you just get a ATPLC, the civilian PEC? Guys, if anybody knows this stuff, the regular civilian ATPLC is not that great. It's more expensive than the D-Ball A3, and the illuminator is awful compared to the D-Ball A3. So you can pay for a D-Ball A3 anywhere from $11 to $12.50 for a brand new one. That is my opinion if you were getting that. So if you're looking for nods, have any more other questions about it, so I had green RMBGs. That's what I had. So you got your helmet. You got your laser now. Now, this is the hardest part. Oh, not really hard, but this is the most expensive part. Budget for what night vision device, whether it be monocular or binocular. A lot of people go with PVS 14s. You can get the Gen 2s or Gen 3s. I prefer a Gen 3. Better specs of green or even white phosphor. If you want to spend a little bit more, get a white phosphor one. But if you're in that budget of, say, like the $2,000-3,000 range, you're only going to be able to afford a monocular. So PVS 14s are great. It's a monocular. You still have one eye open that can see your regular and your Vislight, whatever. But monoculars are great. I've used them before. I don't own any. I've used them before, and they do the job. So $2,000 range, you can get you a good PVS 14 monocular. Green or white phosphor, know what you want. Now, if you were, say, saving for a little bit longer, or if your budget, you make more money than some people, then you want to go into the binocular range. Depending on that price budget, if you're looking on an affordable binocular in NVG, some knots, I tell people $5,000 to $6,000 range, you can get a brand new set of green phosphor RMVGs. RMVGs, in my opinion, are the best nods period between anything, binocular, monocular, in my opinion, RMVGs are the best for budget for a binocular NVG device. $5 to $6 grand. If you have it, or if you want to finance, there's a lot of places that offer financing, like TMVC offers financing. I think there's some other ones too, but I cannot remember their names. RMVGs. Now, if you want to go a little bit above and beyond, that's when you go to DTMVGs. Are great. They are cheaper now since the new DTMVS just came out, but you have the $8,000 range for DTMVGs. So think about it. If you're going about $2 grand more, if you want a little bit better than RMVGs, white phosphor DTMVGs, you're gonna be looking around the $8,500, maybe $9 grand mark. So $8 to $9 grand for a great set of nods. Like, you're not gonna need any more nods. Make sure you get warranties for your tubes, they burn out, whatever. $8 to $9 grand range, price range there. Now, this is where, if anything over $9 grand, this is where you gotta say, okay, I can afford it, so I have the budget in place, but the purpose. And this is what I was looking at. I wanted PVS 31s. Normal price for PVS 31s are about $13,700. That's not discounts. That's not dealer prices. That's nothing. That is a base set price I have been seeing is about the $13,000 to $14,000 range. $13,700 is what I've been seeing on two websites that I buy my nods from. I was so close to buying these 31s for the last year. 31s. That's all I cared about. I'm a bougie ass. That's what I wanted. I've been saving for it. I got rid of the RMVGs, my green phosphor ones. I wanted 31s no matter what. Well, then the DTMVS came out, and a lot of guys that have 31s, they also, that have a lot of money, they bought DTMVSs. A lot of my friends did. A lot of companies. Don't think that more expensive is better. Before I didn't know a lot about guns, I always thought, well, it has to be better because it's way more expensive. It's $4 grand more expensive. So yeah, I'm going to save up $4 more grand. I'm going to get the most expensive thing there is because that's what money matters. No, guys, money does not always matter. Go back to the D-Ball A3 compared to the APLC. Money does not always matter. Some stuff like guns, it does, but get the training. Your training is what matters. Your purpose is what matters. Don't go spend $20,000 on nods, helmet, IR lasers, and a gun, because that's easily 20 grand. If you buy PVS 31s, a good IR laser, a good helmet, and a great your whole setup is going to be about $20,000 to $25,000. Yes, for one rifle, one laser, one thing of nods, one helmet, and a chest rig, you're going to be looking about 20 to 25K. That's a lot of money for one setup that you can all do. If you want to sell yourself, whatever, but do that. So I chose DTMVS. If talking to people said DTMVS is the exact same as PVS 31s. It basically does the exact same thing. It looks just the same through the tubes, everything else. The guys that have 31s, if you disagree with me, I will be glad to talk to you in the comments. As I said, I was always for 31s until talking to a lot of well-known people that said spend $3 or $4 grand less and get DTMVSs. So I chose a DTMVS with my criteria, my budget, and everything else. I saved for that. Like I said, I got rid of my RMVGs. I got rid of them for the same thing I paid for was $6 grand. Because I didn't have them long. I didn't even have a helmet for it. So I was just like, okay, I don't have nothing. So should have kept on to them. They were great. So guys, budget and purpose is everything for nods. Because that is very expensive. A lot of nods is like buying a vehicle. I'm trying to buy a bike right now, a motorcycle. My nods were the exact same price as a motorcycle, a brand new bike that I want. So that was I had to take that in consideration. Would I use nods more on a bike? I'd probably use a motorcycle more, of course. But that's just, you have to look at intended purpose stuff with me training. So yeah, take in every consideration when buying, not just to do with nods, but if you're buying a gun, I mean, there's some guns we buy just for shits and giggles. I understand, but if you're buying a gun, like I get this question all the time. Nick, love the videos. I want to buy my first rifle. What am I looking for? I love when people reach out to me and say, what am I looking for? Because there's a lot of key points to hit. What are you looking for in something? So there's going to be more videos of budget and purpose coming up. I have a go bag build and budget. It's going to be a vlog like this where I'm getting filmed. I'm literally going to go to a store, buy something. I already have the bag, but buy the accessories I need and buy everything I need for my bag. I have like a SHTF / bug out scenario type bag because mine is outdated. I'm 26 years old now. I made my bag when I was 19. So 7 years ago. I'm still pretty young, but guys, I feel old as shit. So I did that, so I got to do another one that. So instead of a lot of YouTubers go and put shit out there, they don't even run. And that's what I cannot say about YouTube sometimes is, you like Google, when I was younger, I Google like bug out bags, like zombie apocalypse. So that's why I was love that when I was younger, when YouTube was a thing back then and they started doing that. But a lot of people buy this stuff and film it and they don't even run that, guys. Be aware and careful of what people run. Like when people do like a car EDC or the EC on them, they might just be doing that for clout and get like, just for looks and like show and tell. Be iffy and make sure that whoever you're watching, whether it be a YouTuber, whether it be a friend, whether it be a well-known instructor, make sure that's what they're running and not just making a video for it just to save views and money and content. That's not the thing. So we will be doing more purpose and budget type things. I actually got to go to a Blackstone in Charlotte where I go a lot. I'm hoping to go tomorrow or Friday, and we are doing the ultimate truck gun build. I already have a truck gun, but a lot of people want to know some more stuff. It's a vlog. So I'll be buying a truck gun, a designated, it's a purpose driven for that, was my truck gun's getting replaced for something else for a class I'm doing. So like my go-to instructor rifle. But yeah, it's a purpose and budget. That's the two key points. And then area. That gun goes with a purpose, but you got to know your area, guys. So we'll be doing more purpose and budget builds. So guys, this was a lengthy video. I just looked at the time. I did 2 different videos, and it's going to be over 20 minutes long. So if you stick with us to the end, I greatly appreciate it. Even if you watch a little bit of this, I still appreciate it. It's time management. So I understand if you guys want to hear me rant for 25 minutes in a video with no guns even showing. I got a gun back under there. That's actually about to get put in my safe under the seat. But I appreciate it. I'd like to go on a rant. So more stuff coming up with a lot of vlogs like this. The next video I'm doing of how to build ultimate truck gun and a go bag gun, your ultimate go bag. You definitely want to watch that one, guys. There's a lot of key important information in that video. But guys, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you can, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to me already, and also hit the bell notification down below to be notified when I upload videos. I will leave a link to my Patreon account down the link below if you want to help support this channel. It's a little bit more, but you don't have to, and I'll throw my Instagram account down below. Guys, if you're still with me on this long video, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I am doing a lot of live videos on Instagram coming up this week, and it's going to be weekly stuff on Instagram. So if you want to be a part of the live videos, if you don't have an Instagram, make one. Follow me on there, because that's going to be a lot of live videos. YouTube, I've tried live videos here and there. It's not the best, so I'm using Instagram for live videos. But guys, I appreciate it. And as always, y'all have a good one.